Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6 at noon.
Right now at noon, Israel and Iran launching attacks on one another after a ceasefire was announced. What comes next? Plus, we continue monitoring the Lake County Jail where suspended Sheriff Marcos Lopez and his estranged wife are both locked up, how their charges are connected and when they could get out. But first, the first named storm of the year developing in the Atlantic right now, but it's not a threat to us, and it won't stick around for long. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos joins us now. And Candace, we shouldn't be too worried about Andrea.
No, not at all. But this is just the first one, right? It's the first named storm of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. We've been watching it. It went down to about a moderate chance for development, then moved into just a small little pocket of some kind of conducive conditions. And that's why we're starting to see it kind of track with more of a tropical storm status. But right now, the satellite imagery is very sad looking. Right now, the wind sustained about 40 miles per hour. The forecast still showing it holding on to tropical storm status maybe for another few hours, and then it's going to weaken and just continue on being just kind of a fish storm in the northern Atlantic. Back here at home, we're going to be seeing a couple more showers and thunderstorms in the forecast today. Very low chance, but still we are tracking a couple of scattered showers out there. Most of the action this afternoon has been across southern Brevard County. Those coastal showers clipping the coastline, and then we'll continue to see a low-end chance for rain into the afternoon. But a relatively dry, hot day today. But I do want to turn your attention to something that will be impacting us. It's not tropical, but it will have the potential of becoming strong to severe. We'll have more details on what the timing of it and what that includes with our impacts coming up in just a couple minutes. Crystal.
Thanks, Candace. You can depend on the News 6 weather app for the latest updates on the tropics and in-depth analysis of developments during hurricane season. It's free to download. Just search WKMG in your app store. Monday on News 6 at noon, we first told you about the arrest of the estranged wife of suspended Osceola Sheriff Marcos Lopez. Today, she went before a judge with new developments in court, shedding light on the size and scope of the state investigation. News 6's Angie Casada has been covering this story since the very beginning from the Lake County Jail and found out bank records are at the center of this latest arrest. A lot of details surrounding this case. You could find all of our coverage on clickorlando.com. Just type Marcos Lopez in the search bar. 4 months after the sudden death of State Senator Geraldine Thompson, voters in Orange County are heading to the polls to pick her successor. The Senate district includes Apopka, Winter Garden, Oak Ridge, Pine Hills, and parts of Orlando. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez is in Orange County, where turnout has been light in this crowded race. Well, there's also a primary today for House District 40. That's also in Orange County. It includes Pine Hills and parts of Ocoee and Fairview Shores. Former state representative Travaris McCurdy is facing off against Rashawn Young. The winner will face Republican Tuwan Lee. Look for election results tonight after 7 o'clock when the polls close on clickorlando.com. A disturbing discovery this morning in downtown Orlando, a body found on the side of Orange Avenue near Gore Street. Right now, police are only saying it's an adult male. His body was found laying partly on the street and partly on the sidewalk. There's no word on how he died. We'll let you know when we get an update. In Volusia County, a girl is in the hospital after being hit by a car while riding a scooter. It happened in DeLand yesterday afternoon. Police say she was trying to cross South Woodland Boulevard when she was hit by a black car near Gilbert Street. Investigators say the driver stayed on scene and wasn't hurt. The girl was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. We'll be checking in on how she's doing today. The crash is still under investigation. The state of Florida is set to execute a man today, decades after he raped and murdered a woman in downtown Orlando. Thomas Gudinas was convicted for killing 27-year-old Michelle McGrath after she left a nightclub with friends in 1994. He's been on death row ever since, and if the sentence is carried out tonight, he'll be the 7th person executed in Florida this year. However, his attorneys are still fighting to stop it, even asking for the state Supreme Court to step in. The Catholic Church is also pushing for a stay.
In Florida, the alternative is life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Still a very serious punishment, and it confines the offender and it protects society. But it doesn't require the state to cross that line and extinguish a human life.
News 6's Mike Valenti will be outside Florida State Prison tonight for the execution if it goes forward.
As soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel.
As you heard, President Trump unhappy after Israel dropped bombs on Iran after coming to a ceasefire agreement last night. And now the president is urging both sides to uphold their end of the deal. CBS's Natalie Brand has more. Tonight, leaders in Astatula are set to discuss whether to approve a year-long development moratorium. We first told you about the proposal last month, and we've been closely monitoring discussions about it ever since. The mayor, Zane Teeter, says its infrastructure needs some time to catch up with all the growth. The moratorium would only impact new projects, not the ones that have already been approved. If the moratorium is passed, it would go into effect immediately. And that meeting is tonight at 6 at Town Hall. Well, advanced technology and physical therapy techniques are giving people better and faster results after debilitating injuries. After the break, News 6's Bridget Ellison shows us how high-intensity gait training works. You're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be right back.
Introducing the new $25 million Gold Rush Multiplier Scratch-Off from the Florida Lottery. No matter what's happening where you live, trust Sky 6 to get the bigger picture. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newman.
I know hurricane season can be a very stressful time. When a big storm is heading our way, here at News 6, we want to give you as much warning as we possibly can. Our advanced storm tracking technology is important, but what's more important is this team. We live here. We're your neighbors. And when a hurricane is out there, straightforward and accurate local forecasting. It's what you expect.
A new kind of physical therapy is helping patients bounce back faster after life-changing injuries. News 6's Bridget Ellison shows us how high-intensity gait training works and introduces us to a local grandfather who came into rehab in a wheelchair and walked out just weeks later. Pappy is back. He'll be chasing around those grandkids in no time. Well, back to your forecast now. Here's a live look at our Launch Credit Union Port Cam at Port Canaveral. It looks great out there. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is here to break down the forecast. Are we going to see more sun, more rain, or a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. I think most of us are going to just stay mostly sunny, pretty warm and dry. Although we can't rule out the chance of a couple of those isolated showers that are clipping the coast. We'll continue to move further inland, and that sea breeze developing more, some scattered showers west of I-4 today. But today the coverage is very low. We're only about 20 to 30%. We're going to start increasing our chance for rain a little further on Wednesday. These are going to be some pesky, possibly some sneaky strong storms in the forecast as we head into Wednesday, and I'll explain why in just a few minutes. And then as we head into Thursday and Friday, we're going to start turning more widespread, more of that typical sea breeze driven rain and storms in the forecast. Right now outside in Daytona Beach, our current temperature is 87 degrees, but it feels like 95, still kind of in that high category, as many of us are going to continue to feel close to 100 to about 105 throughout the afternoon. Now temperatures at this hour, as you're running those errands, grabbing a quick lunch, upper 80s along our coastline, but the further inland you go, we're hovering near 90 in Sanford and Orlando, still at 87 in Leesburg, Claremont, as well as Ocala. But when you factor in some of that moisture and that humidity in the air, already it's starting to feel a little warmer than that, feeling like already 106 in the Villages, feeling like 99 right now in Orlando. All right, so let's widen out this graphic here. We have a big dome of high pressure, and that's anchoring itself right over the eastern seaboard, and that's the reason why most of the eastern seaboard up 95 up through the northeast, the Great Lakes, they're all dealing with possible record heat for today. We're going to be kind of on that southern end of that high, keeping things relatively dry for today. So now let's check here on your hour-by-hour forecast for your Tuesday.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency, you ought to call Strata.
Our highs this afternoon back into those low 90s. Again, very limited rain in the forecast. Let me show you what that 20% looks like. There it is, just along I-4 towards our western communities there between about 2, 3 o'clock. I think most of the action will be pinned out towards the Gulf Coast. If you are planning on going to the FIFA World Cup game later on tonight, I think we're looking mostly dry. But then we're going to start factoring in a new weather feature. This is not a tropical low. This is not a concern. But what it will be doing is adding an extra little bit more of a cool pocket in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And as it kind of sits overhead, when we start getting the sea breeze storms interacting into the afternoon on Wednesday, we will have a potential for some strong to severe storms. That's why the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted most of Central Florida under that level 1 out of 5 for strong to severe weather. I do think the main two impacts that we're going to be concerned about will be the gusty winds as well as some slightly larger hail potentially in some of those isolated spots. But the coverage is not going to be widespread. This is not going to be a washout of event by any means. By 11, a couple of coastal showers, but notice just a few of those rogue showers could turn strong to severe in the forecast on Wednesday, and again turning more widespread, more typical as we head into the rest of the week and into the weekend. But until then, though, it is going to be all about that heat with highs staying in those mid-90s. Back to you.
Thanks, Candace. Well, if you're a big soccer fan, now's your chance to jump in on the fun. Downtown Orlando is hosting the FIFA World Cup, if you didn't know. Coming up, we'll tell you how you can also join the festivities, even if you can't make it to the game.
I feel lucky that this is my actual job, to be on the roads in our community, keeping you informed, keeping you safe, and getting results. I'm a traffic safety expert, a Florida native, and a state trooper. I mean, come on, having a trooper on your side every morning has got to make a difference. That's why you should start your day differently with us. I'm Trooper Steve. Watch News 6 Mornings.
Weekday mornings from 5 to 7 a.m. on News 6.
A new launch date is set for the Axiom 4 mission. Axiom 4 is now expected to lift off at the early hour of 2:31 a.m. tomorrow morning from the Kennedy Space Center. We'll be awake. The 4-person crew will travel to the International Space Station. The mission has been delayed several times, first because of a leak on the ISS, then because of a liquid oxygen leak on the Falcon 9 rocket. We'll keep you updated on the launch here on News 6 and, of course, clickorlando.com. A heads up about some likely traffic around downtown Orlando tonight. It's all for the FIFA Club World Cup. Today and Thursday's match will be at Camping World Stadium. And if you're not going to the game, Icon Park is hosting a fan experience, which ends tomorrow. Well, some people use the drive-thru. Others may get their food delivered by car. Coming up, how people on the waters of Florida were surprised to see their food delivered a unique way. Stick around. Well, if you're getting a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A, usually, you drive up to the restaurant or have it delivered by car. But what if you could get it delivered by boat? Yeah, it's actually a thing. This video captured in Destin up in the Panhandle shows a local Chick-fil-A offering delivery by inflatable boat. Sarah Franklin O'Connor recorded the moment during a vacation with her husband as a Chick-fil-A boat pulled up to shore to deliver that meal. I hope the fries weren't soggy.
Even if, just take it.
Still eat them?
All the chicken nuggets, yeah. Or as Justin this morning said, he liked when everything coagulates in the foil. I don't know what that means.
Nasty.
7-day forecast. Listen, we're going to be dodging a little more rain, a little more thunderstorms, especially as we head into Thursday. Could get strong to severe. We'll have the latest model runs with meteorologist Julie Broughton and Jonathan Kagas coming up throughout the evening shows.
All right, sounds good. Join us for our next newscast at 4 o'clock. Remember, we break news on clickorlando.com. You can also find all of our stories, breaking news, and exclusive on the News 6